They can't hear you. Oh, I guess chat can hear me. Hi, this is Thea. Yuri is panicking. He says he's confused and to give him a second. He says all of the inputs are correct, but he doesn't understand. Also, I'm sorry to inform a lot of you that I am not Jackie Eleanor. Speaking of Jackie Eleanor summoned.
Hello. What's happened? Oh no.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jackie, they can hear you and I.
Yeah, I just pulled
They
up the stream.
can't hear Yuri, but we can hear Yuri.
What the heck? Hi all.
That did it.
Oh?
That did it for sure. Hi. Fucking dumbass fucking thing. Okay. Hey, chat. Happy birthday, chat.
Chat?
Oh, God. Yeah, it's chat's birthday. Didn't you hear?
I want to make a happy birthday cardlin joke, but I feel like that's so old that people are just going to think it's his birthday.
That's so old that it took me a second. That was the last birthday?
No, that was like 2-3 birthdays ago.
Well, don't fucking tell me that. I feel old. Oh my God. Sorry about that. It's not a surprise that something was broken. It's, it's part of the ritual is not the word. It's a tradition. I mean, traditions are kind of our rituals. Also, all right. So let me catch you guys up on what the fuck is going on with me. For the past like 2 weeks, I've had vertigo if I move my head a certain way. And then yesterday I got food poisoning. Brother, I'm going through it. Also, when I took the dizzy medicine this morning to try and make me less dizzy, it made me more dizzy. So I'm fucking going through it all. So you might hear me eating pretzels. They are very loud and crunchy. You might see me go, oh, and that's because I'm drinking fucking Gatorade. So there's a lot to talk about. And one of the things that were planned, but I'm going to extend and revisit in a week, is the BitterSweet. Oh God,
BitterSweet.
BitterSweet
and BitterSweet.
Hold on, wait. It occurs to me I didn't turn on the lo-fi music. Oh, that's loud. Shh, shut up. Sorry. There we go. Me talking in a void is terrifying. Let me close some of this extra shit. There we go. BitterSweet Art Week. Oh, God. Was supposed to look at all the entries tonight. I do not feel like... There's a lot of them. It does not feel like I should add an extra hour to the stream for a contest that I could just keep open for another week. So thank you to everyone who's been participating. For those of you who may be unaware, we're having an art contest. It's not like a battle for the best. It's if you post in the hashtag with any kind of artwork, you get put into a drawing. So yeah, everyone is invited. So that we will revisit that a week from tonight. There's a lot of really cool stuff. Mm-hmm. It's very cute. You can post them anywhere. We will be looking on all popular social media. So 1 place, 2 place, 3 place, 4 place. So long as it is a platform that I am on, I will find you. That is terrifying when you think about it. Also, I know Bloody Bread asked yesterday on Tumblr, you could, in theory, post a work in progress and it would still count. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's not finished, that doesn't count.
Also, somebody's work in projects could look like, or work in progress could look like somebody's like complete work. So it feels weird to be like, no, it has to be up to a specific standard.
Not at all. So, as much as I hate to say it, no AI.
Oh God, please no.
Of any form, please.
Thank you for the $2 super chat, Kazuto? ? Kazuto? There you go. That's how you say it. Thank you very much. Yeah, I didn't include it in the thing because I figured people would assume the specific instance was someone asking about a like music thing. But please none whatsoever. That would make me happy.
Thanks, Joe.
If you didn't, it would make me happy it would make me very sad if you did. Also, like, people will beat you. That's not a real threat, but also showing up to an art contest. That sounds like a great way to get done up like that piñata in the Not Like Us video.
Oh.
Alice Morela, I hope because my brain is so mush. Happy birthday, plus my favorite emoji combo of the eye, lips, eye. Mm-hmm. Your gift, and I wanted to send more super chats, but I'm a bit broke. Do not worry. Speaking for birthdays, speaking about birthdays, if you would like to get me something, you should get yourself something, because over on YuuriVoice.com, our merch store, we have a special 10% off. I do think there's an order minimum. I think it's got to be a $50 order minimum, but there's a lot of hoodies and sweatshirts and things that would absolutely get you to that amount. And if you use the special link, the promo code is automatically applied. We got new stuff. There are some new coffee mugs, a Seth and an Alphonse flavored coffee mug. We have the BitterSweet word mark in a very nice embroidered hoodie. Also hats. I know so many of us wear hats. I don't think there's a big need for those. But they're there because it looks really good. Yeah. Charlie hoodies are still up. Oh. Okay. So we did that. What else do I have to yap about? There's a lot of things. There are some like more formal announcements, but I wanted to get the merch thing out of the way.
Will you pin one of my merch messages?
Yes, I will. Give me this. Pin. So let's talk about the other thing, because I see someone has has spoiled. Not that it's a spoiler. If you would have looked in the description of the video, you would see that the YuuriVoice wiki is live. I'm gonna call it that it's in beta. I'm gonna say that it's a beta because there are still things that are work in progress, things that need to be proofread and adjusted. I definitely have used too many commas.
Me.
So
I can only find so many commas.
Me and my work emails.
Oh.
Also,
So,
the wiki link is broken in the description. You put an A in it randomly.
why is there an A in it?
I don't know why there's an A in it, but
The wiki is live. Yuri, how the fuck?
I don't know where it came from. But
It's fixed. It's fixed. I fixed it.
Yeah.
There's an A.
Yeah. So there's a lot of that going on. It's a lot of text. Yeah. So people have asked about a lot of things for a long time. I'm hoping that having a wiki that is pretty fucking comprehensive not only will allow people to inform themselves, but allow people to accurately inform others. It was indeed a wave of people telling people the wrong things that inspired me to do this. So now you've got a source. You can source your references. And yes, full body art references are on there. Yeah. So we got that going on. Man. Okay, so those are...
If you're on the Discord, you will be able eventually to send us suggestions or notes of like things that need to be corrected.
Oh my god. Pretzel.
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 Nice. What kind of pretzels? Like just your normal.
They're those baked chip style.
Oh.
Those like flat boys.
Oh, those are so good.
They are pretty good. They're basically
okay,
just like salty cardboard, but when your tummy has been angry, salty cardboard is amazing.
It's like that made no sense. I'm not gonna say that.
No, say it.
I was gonna say it's like the body of Christ, but for gay people. But I feel like only like a handful of people would understand me.
No. Raise your hand if you had to take communion.
My hand.
It's the tastiest part of church.
I don't know what you're talking about because those things taste... I do like the grape juice though.
Grape juice.
Did you ever see what they did during COVID where they had the pre-packaged communion?
That's crazy.
That's wild. A Lunchable?
Essentially, communion Lunchable.
A communion Lunchable is crazy. Yeah, see? I knew that there's a reason why my religious trauma resonated with so much of the audience.
Happy Lent.
What if they were like vanilla wafers?
Oh, fuck.
Technically, anything could be the body of Christ, right? Because I remember there was also some churches that were doing bring your own communion.
Crazy.
That's wild.
Me with my graham crackers in the
Bro,
fucking pews.
That's so real. I have leftover graham crackers.
Yeah, I think only like 4 or 5.
That's okay.
I tried to finish all of them.
That's like dessert for a guy who can't eat anything good. I did have a couple of Airheads. It's my birthday. It's fine if you chew them up enough. They're basically just like little piles of sugar.
Yeah, even if you don't chew them.
I mean, yeah, but then like your tummy juice has to work harder. Hey, oyster crackers fuck.
What is an oyster cracker? What is an oyster cracker?
It's just a cracker that would go really good in soup. Why are they called oyster crackers? Hold on, Googling.
Maybe because they're not kind of oyster shaped.
Oyster crackers. Served with oyster stew and clam chowder. Boom. Yep. And they look like little oysters in your shell. In the shell. They're great.
I like how crunchy they are.
Yeah, they're perfect to put in a soup. Man. Oh, chat. Okay. I'm being so strong. What if it was like a bring your own bucket and you could get as much of the communion wafers as you wanted? Like it was a theater doing a popcorn deal.
You can order them in bulk. You don't have to be like a religious, like you don't have to like work for a church or anything. You can just order them.
Yeah.
I've seen people make sad nachos with communion wafers.
That's wild. That's wild. Okay. What the fuck else is going on? We've got some announcements. The big one is BitterSweet Chapter 4, happening a week from tomorrow. So let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit. I didn't make a list of like notes to kind of dive into everything. So Jackie drew Boxer Seth. Boxer Seth real actually.
Oh, so good.
He's lovely. You know, it was just a thought once upon a time. Like, oh, what if he was a boxer? But like, you know, a guy who has been in a violent violent line of work and then spent time in prison would definitely have picked up some boxing. So yeah, it was a good excuse to make him shirtless and sweaty and have him punch things.
His facial hair.
So yeah, he's a little stubbly. He's a little sweaty. His hair's a little longer.
He's a little stinky.
He is a little stinky. Don't quote me on this, but I do think there is going to be a not safe for work finale, which is just him showering after the scene.
You're going to be quoted on that because you can't say those words and not follow through on that.
It's also a very easy.
Can we do? Oh, I don't know.
Can we do what?
Putting more work on my plate, but I mean, I don't have that much work, so it'd be fine. Like, what if for the not safe for work we did like art that, like the top half, if it's cropped a specific way, is fine for YouTube, but then like the full version is on Patreon.
That is entirely up to you.
I'll think about it.
That's entirely up to you.
I've been drawing a lot more not safe for work shit, so. We'll see.
So yeah,
I hope some fan artists have also been inspired by that statement.
Yes.
Yeah, the audio opens with him working a heavy bag. So if you want to hear him breathe heavily, you'll get to hear that even on the free.
Whoa.
Even on the free side of things.
Listen, if we don't do it in a video, you guys will see it at some point.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen how in Love and Deep Space you do the quality time thing and you can work out with the boys?
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine doing that with Seth punching a punching bag.
Whoa. Punch me next, King.
Oh. Wow.
Slash. There's no good way to say that, but
No, I know. We know, Jackie. We know.
The Zoom.
this is a safe place.
Yeah, I love the very like. He has kind of like this desperate yearning in his eyes in this particular.
And
look.
was I listening to a Hosier song while I drew it? Yeah. And is there a connection to the yearning? Maybe.
Kale, you are correct. That is the new hoodie. Oh, I had made other stuff that has the word mark, but like I didn't think about getting a embroidered. I love embroidered shit. That's one of my favorite, like an embroidered hoodie. It just feels really nice. So like the dark mode Alphonse sweatshirt is always a winner for me too. There will be more Florist audios. Don't worry. I'll have things to say. I'll have things to say about Finn soon as well. So
this
yeah,
really is BitterSweet.
it really is. So let's talk a little bit about chapter 4. Chapter 4 is I've had a pretty good grasp of what I want chapter 4 to be. In particular, it centers on Alphonse's struggles, basically. Alphonse has a lot going on, basically. I've really enjoyed kind of the idea that like, well, in the synopsis for it, hold on. Well, let me read the actual like description of the video because it kind of slaps. So the description is Seth's boxing session is cut short by a surprise visit from Boo, seeking advice from someone who knows Alphonse inside and out. Together, they consider just what their formerly pastel punk might be struggling with and pledge to bring him back home. So I did have one comment where somebody was like, wait, Alphonse went somewhere? Where's Alphonse? And it's like, okay, gang, we don't mean literally. Because, you know, he was pastel boy, is now dark mode boy, and apparently something isn't quite right. And a lot of it is just like, I wanted to touch on how it must feel to have, well, not to get into like director's cut spoilers territory, but you will find that we really super duper nail now just how badly Alphonse doesn't want to unearth his past with Boo. He doesn't want to have to revisit that because it's a very painful thing for him. So to have pulled off the Band-Aid and gone back to the city, gotten violent again, had to revisit all of that. You don't just come back home and things go back to normal. Especially when so much of that is tied up in everything that has just occurred. So, not only touching on that, we get to touch on Alphonse's parents. Yeah, and other things. There are memories and thoughts that haunt Alphonse a bit. And I just recently outlined what we're gonna need for episode 2 of chapter 4. So Yeah. That'll be fun.
Definitely no emotions whatsoever.
Oh yeah. When I was recording the first episode with Seth here, there was a whole bit where like I didn't even plan on having him cry, and then you know, he cried anyways.
Seth knows who he is.
Yeah. Oh, and don't worry, we're now like canonizing the fact that he's a crybaby and that Boo like picks on him for it.
Oh, well, Dominic DIY. If you don't necessarily know who this character is, you're in luck. Because tomorrow is a very important release.
Yes, tomorrow the BitterSweet director's cut is the it is the definitive way to experience BitterSweet. So yeah. Oh, and for the question of did Seth move back in with his dad? So the location we have here, the location we have here is actually the garage where Alphonse's car was stored. So the lore, which you can find out on the wiki, because this is covered in the wiki, and eventually there will be a locations tab on the wiki where shit like this is explained in a little more detail. But the garage where... All right, let me explain. Alphonse comes back home. We know now that Alphonse just lives in the little apartment of the store, the little studio, and that he worked on this car with his dad. So he was able to store this car in Seth's dad's garage. Seth's dad, of course, did offer Seth to come back home, but Seth thought, hey, look, I don't want to necessarily come back home, but I'll cut you a deal. I'll move into the garage. I'll turn the garage into like a crash pad, basically. And so he does. Alphonse's car is now parked at Boo's. So there's room. So he has like a little cot. He's got a punching bag in there. He's set it up into a nice little clubhouse for himself. Oh God. Why we can't have lo-fi that has like subtle talking in the background. Ever. Yeah, so that's gonna be very fun. So yeah. Lost Star asks, are you going to have the director's cut in chapters in the vid or one whole long video uninterrupted? So the chapters system that YouTube has baked in, if you add timestamps in the description, it's all timestamped. So you should, in theory, I don't know for sure that it works good yet because I don't get to see it until the video is out. And it probably won't work during the premiere either. So once the 7 hours has passed and the premiere has premiered, you should, in theory, be able to see the chapters all on the bottom and be able to go to each episode as it goes.
The director's cut is just over 7 hours?
Yep, it's like 7 hours, 12 minutes.
It's a big boy.
Big boy.
Yeah.
7 hours of uninterrupted bittersweet.
And just saying, during the premiere tomorrow, everyone needs to obviously put love on Jackie and Yuri, but also so much love on Thu.
Oh my God.
Please.
For editing this monster.
Oh my
Thu
gosh.
broke her back on this damn thing. The amount of time she spent on it, like if you were to compile not only what she did for the director's cut, but like if you went back and compiled like all the hours from chapter 3, I mean, holy shit. And it's great. Like the way chapter 1 looks is so, it's a flex. I think that's the biggest exciting part for me, is that chapter 1 now, whereas it used to be like, obviously people love the story of BitterSweet and stuff, but chapter 1 was, in the content sense, the weakest part of BitterSweet, because like my acting was worse, the quality was worse, the artwork was not what it ended up becoming for 2 and 3. It was not the same deal. So the director's cut chapter 1 is fantastic. So very excited.
Because yeah, Jackie, you came on after BitterSweet started, right?
No,
Or were you?
I was there for the start of it because I designed Seth.
Oh
So-
yeah.
Yeah, but we hadn't fully committed to doing like I think we only had done like 1 or 2 shots. I think the biggest thing that we had done at the time was the Guzma thing.
Yeah, because I can't remember when Alphonse got his redesign.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything about the director's cut that holds? By the way, we do have the question form. I haven't plugged that yet.
Yeah.
But I've caught questions, so I'll answer the ones I see here too. Is there anything about the director's cut that holds anything significantly different than the earlier episodes, or are they all the same video and audios just all together? No, I think so. First off, for chapter 1, it's basically been rewritten's not the right word. Nothing narratively, the plot hasn't changed, whatever, but phrasing is a little different. The characters talk a lot more like themselves because I'm so much more aware of who they are now. So I was able to tweak that. And some things are a bit more... Here's an example of something that is basically the same, but different. Alphonse and Seth's argument, their confrontation that they have at the tavern and outside of it, it bites a lot harder. So it is basically the same thing, but because I know them so well now, I know exactly how they get under each other's skin, and I know what triggers them and how they would trigger each other. So I was able to write a more realistic argument between them because I am so much more aware of who they are. The campfire Seth scene is for some reason 15 minutes longer than it was originally. I do not actually know how I managed that. I didn't feel like I added that much because I actually really wanted to keep that whole thing intact. So I don't know where the 15 minutes really came from, if it was the way that I performed it or something, but it is 15 minutes longer. So the other thing that is actually fairly different is the final episode of chapter 1. I've talked about how it initially wasn't even planned to be a thing. It was a reaction to the way the audience was so fucking sensitive to feeling like Alphonse was going to leave them, and the argument. It wasn't even an argument, but like Alphonse being upset at Seth arriving at breakfast and whatnot. And I didn't love that because it was so that was me catering to a segment of the audience that I think now doesn't really exist because people see the big picture. And now I see the big picture and I'm able to address it without pandering to what I feel like was... I felt like that specific thing, because like it ends in spice as well, which honestly, I'm pretty sure it was just because I needed one for that month and I plugged it in there. I didn't love that. That was not how I, as a creator, writer, artist, would have wanted to handle that. So I fixed it. I don't like to use the word fix, but that is the one part that I do think I did fix. Because I think the story itself deserves better than that. So, other than that, it is all the same. Like, it is essentially, you could tell this same story verbatim the way that, like, the original chapter 1 was and this chapter 1 is. And if you, either way, you went into chapter 2 and 3, you'd be like, oh, it's the same story, because it is. I didn't adjust any of that, so. Yes.
Also, it is okay if you are somebody who is sensitive to stuff like that. It is not. This is more of a thing of Yuri not deviating from the intent of the story.
Yeah, and also, I'm gonna just be blunt. Trying to make someone feel better with a quick 5-minute, hey, it's okay, I'm not actually mad at you, let's fuck, is the worst way to address someone being upset at a blow up you've had. Makeup sex, obviously a thing, but it does not feel appropriate in the story. So I have improved the thing. It needed to be addressed. Also, there's a whole additional umbrella of context that goes into the Guzma plotline, where people were really worried about a breakup and all this shit. So like, it's not even the overreactive coddling is not even relevant to the plot or these characters or anything. And I think what you get instead is actually very good. I think it's very good. So, and thank you for the birthday wishes. So, yeah, basically the same, but way better in a variety of ways.
And chapter 2 and 3 have not been touched. Yeah.
Yeah, they have artwork where template stuff was. So there were a couple of episodes throughout chapter 2 and 3 that only had the static template audio setup. There's artwork for those now. That way you're never like ripped right out of the continuity. You're like, well, why the fuck is this? Why does this look like a very like lo-fi fucking Otome game? So it's like it's in universe, which folks saw the artwork that will be used for the Charlie flashback.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun, and can confirm we've got episodes ready for episodes. We've got artwork ready for the actual audio of the flashback, which should be sooner rather than later. Looking very forward to that.
Mm-hmm. The rat's not ready for what's coming.
Oh man, yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah. So, how's about we talk about some other stuff, because we have a lot of other things going on. In particular, I have something I'm very excited for, which is Everlast content. So that's coming. But before we get to Everlast stuff, I don't remember what image is about to appear. So I don't know how to actually set this up right. So we're just gonna. Oh boy, is that shattered on my screen?
Shattered.
Oh goodness me!
I don't.
look
The
at
stream
him.
hasn't updated yet, so I don't even know what's. Oh wait.
Look at him, forehead all wrinkled, and
Oh my!
I love this man.
I have had a lot of thoughts and feelings.
Oh goodness!
His hair looks so luscious.
What? I just.
I feel like I have to apologize to the other boys because you can really tell who my favorite is.
He's here. So Shattered. We've got a lot to talk about. AKA Oron's no good, very bad day.
I'll be fine, Pookie. But may not be fine for a bit.
You'll get there. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yuri likes to drag out the drama.
I do. So Shattered, we have done what we did with BitterSweet the first time around, where so we got like midway through chapter 2 before BitterSweet started being called BitterSweet. That's kind of what I've decided to do with Shattered, because it's so complicated to try and explain to people, because like there's Oron's like first wave of audios, and then there's the Escape series, and then there's Shattered. So instead of like trying to name it a billion different things, we're retroactively going to call it Shattered. So that puts us at chapter 3. I think people will figure it out.
Playlists will get updated. It'll be fine.
They will. Actually, very soon. Tomorrow, my big project is actually to go through YouTube and kind of dress up the homepage, and then do even do like collections on Patreon. So yes, that will be happening. And then, oh, hold on, let me not miss this. Thank you, Gree. Deadass, I had to fight my brain to not say Greasy Shark Boy. You're not Greasy. You're Gree. Shark Boy. We're going to call you Sharky. Happy birthday, Yuri. I'm making an Alphonse figure out of clay. Which version of Al do you think I should make? Dark Mode Al or Bubblegum Prince Al? Dang. I think Bubblegum Prince. It'll be a little while before we run into him again canonically, but I think the pastel Alphonse would be a very cute figgy. Yeah, so Shattered. That'll be getting. So the first episode is recorded, edited, audio wise, and video TBD. But that is, you're looking at the thumbnail, so hot damn. Oh man.
Hot damn indeed.
So, aside from that, Everlast stuff. Let's talk about Thomas. Hi, Thomas. So, for those of you who may be unfamiliar, Thomas is a blacksmith.
Oh, this eats.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy. That is how I would describe Thomas. Episode 1, the audio is ready. We just gotta get the video together, and he will be one of the first Everlast Origins series to drop. So Echoes of Everlast, it's a whole big thing. And I started to feel like I would enjoy you all getting to know these characters before meeting them strictly through Phineas. Also, I'd give you a sample of his voice, but like I don't think I can do it from pure memory. I describe his voice as if it's a little bit of Big Red and a little bit of Seth. He's not like super country and he's not like super booming. He's just a pleasant middle ground, I think. Excuse me. So Thomas is sort of the he's representative of like my first genuine attempt at the hero's journey, basically. Of course, in this particular medium, things are all kind of sped up a little bit. I don't think people listening to audio role plays generally want, you know, I could get you like a trilogy of books out of this if we all had that amount of time, but I don't think we do. So, he gets kind of roped into things and finds his way. He's a delight, though. And depending, the second episode of his series, and it will be a series. It should be a handful. Should be a handful. I don't know how many episodes, 5-ish, maybe more. Depends on what I come across as I go through the bullet points. He will eventually, with his listener, run into Edwin. So you'll get to meet Edwin, the priest. And yeah, that's probably all I can. It's probably all I can share for now. But I feel I have big feelings about Thomas. He's great. Logboy says, I fear there might be pain. Well, see, it's really fun getting to do things to a character who is largely not traumatized yet. He has like he's experienced loss, but he has not personally and physically and like firsthand gone through shit. I would say he's even gone out of his way to avoid that. Ghost Silverthorn with the $10 super chat says, hello and happy birthday. I just wanted to remind you how wonderful it is to have you here on this earth, and I and many others appreciate you being here. So thank you. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you. That's very sweet. My goodness, thank you. Well, yeah.
Yuri hurts all of his characters.
Yeah, but and not just because like it's the only thing to do with them, but because what I've discovered as I've gotten to know Thomas is he's very driven to look out for his fellow man. He has almost an idealistic view on what being a good person is, because in his life he has known people he believed to be heroes, and one in particular who he held in very high regard did a great deal to look after the common folk. And he doesn't believe that the people in power share that same ideal. And he's a little bit not jaded, but he is a bit bitter. So he does what he can from his forge and from his tavern, but what seems to find him is this realization that like you can't sit here and be angry that no one's doing anything when you know goddamn well that you could be the person doing something. And he's scared to take that leap because anyone who has ever been in his life who tried to do good for others is gone now. And he is unsure what to do, because if he leaves home, he's leaving behind the last pieces he has of those people he loved to probably pursue ideals that are going to get him killed. And he finds himself in a situation where he has to make a choice if he wants to be who he knows in his heart he could be and who he wants to be, or if he's going to go back home. So he's in for a time. He's great. He's great.
I'm ready to become so emotionally attached to him.
Yeah, me too. I've thought of many ways. I thought of
how different his concept art is.
Yeah.
Came a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Damn.
That's a baby.
Yeah.
Anywho, are you guys ready for a surprise?
A surprise?
It is a surprise. I've been sitting on this for months now.
Oh boy.
When I was teasing this, I mentioned that I was going to talk about Everlast stuff, and the emojis I used was a wolf and hammer. And I think a lot of people assumed that I was talking about Oron the Bloodhound and Thomas the Blacksmith. He's back. Not only is Ulrick back, he is going to be voiced by Good Boy Audios. For those of you who are not familiar with GBA, I have been collaborating with GBA over the past year, and he is an incredibly talented individual, and I did not feel like I was suited for Ulrick. I wanted to begin the process of reaching out to others and collaborating on a project like this. So, Ulrick will be a key character in Echoes of Everlast. For those of you unfamiliar with Ulrick,
Man.
Ulrick, many moons ago, was a werewolf character I had, that I did a little bit of stuff with, and then I just kind of moved on. I had the beginning threads of a plot, and I sort of just didn't have the strength to go and do all that. His vids still are on the channel, yes. If you go to, there should be a playlist that's like retired.
I'll find it.
Something.
His
So
last video was 5 years ago. So if you have not heard of him,
Oof.
there's a reason.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
So let's talk about some of the deep lore. Ulrick was part of what could have been a shared universe, a fantasy world where my fantasy characters were all in one plot. That was the very, very fine crumbs of what eventually would go on to become Everlast. So what we've got going on is that Ulrick, his series, is essentially getting the director's cut treatment, where I've gone through, rewritten it to suit the narrative of Everlast and his role in it, and reintroduce him to the world. So, if you're familiar with those old videos, the general direction of the plot is fairly similar. It is basically the same, but the finer details and the world of Everlast is baked into it. So, his origins it's a single video. Whether or not there will be any additional Ulrick things before getting into Echoes of Everlast remains to be seen. It's a 34-minute video. It's pretty fucking thick. GBA fucking crushed it. It's great. So basically, we're finding out how Ulrick gets himself to the point. Well, I wouldn't say he gets to the point where he's at in Echoes of Everlast, but you see what event pushes him out the door towards where he will be when we find him in Echoes of Everlast.
Towards the plot.
So, I feel like this question has probably already been asked in the doc, so I'm just going to answer it now before anyone continues to ask it. Does this mean Egon exists and or is coming back? The answer is yeah. And that's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. That there will be a snake.
Snake.
There will be a snake. I can also tell you that he won't be getting the like take the old content and make it the new content just tweaked. He has a new role to play. So yeah.
He is also in that retired characters playlist.
He is. I would say, unlike Ulrick, not gonna be representative of who you may meet in the future, but basically, yeah, there's a big snake. There's a big snake. There is a big snake.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting. Yeah.
People are gonna be like, wow, Yuri hasn't done anything for a while. Also, you drops everything all at once.
Yeah, I've got a whole lot going on. A whole lot going on. There is one more thing that I can't tell you about. That's tough. But that'll be.
There needs to be some secrets.
There has to be. There has to be. I just don't have any. I don't have any. I would just have to tell you, and that's not as fun as like pulling out my little Yu-Gi-Oh deck and being like, aha.
The drama. The drama of the image reveal.
Yeah.
I like Ulrich's little
Oh yeah. This is the real fun part is that this Ulrick art has existed for like 2 years. I was contemplating like bringing him back just out of the blue. And then that never happened. And then I was like, hey, you know who has artwork already? And has like promo art ready to go? So yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
Not too bad for an older piece. I forgot what it looked like, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he always say that stuff as if all of your art isn't immaculate and you're just being hard on yourself.
I know. But a lot of my earlier stuff is... I was still learning, you know?
Chat, we need to fight Jackie for her own honor.
Thanks.
There's so many things.
There are. The other thing that's like 2 years in the making is probably the other thing that I can't tell you about.
Oh.
How long, Jackie?
Okay.
I don't know. I can't.
You even know what it is.
There's no... It's the thing you thought you were going to be doodling tonight.
Oh, yes.
Because, like, that has been part of the plan for
very long.
A hot minute. Like, I knew... Basically, not long after I started to know that Everlast was coming, I knew that this needed to come. So there will be other origins. Yeah. Yeah. I wish I had more.
Well, Well, we need to save some secrets because there are more streams coming.
There are more streams. Next stream, I will say, I thought I was going to show you guys the artwork for the Alphonse Seth Charlie thing, and then I realized that it was in a Photoshop file, and I don't have Photoshop on this computer, so.
Do you want me to send it over?
You could. I don't know. I think they should wait.
That's fair.
There's a stream scheduled for next week, so
We can do it then, yeah. Maybe by then we'll have some stuff for other stuff.
If I work really hard, I can try to fucking get the audio ready. So long as I quit being ill. Yeah. Let me
you have questions in the question form.
Okay, that's a good idea. Oh boy. No, I don't have a cold. I've not had a lot of sleep because I got fucking food poisoning last night. Purple is the opposite of patient. That's right. Purple's a doctor.
Oh.
Oh, y'all thought that my dad jokes weren't going to make an appearance?
I'm just more nervous about the idea of purple.
Yeah. Immediate fear.
I feel like purple would try to harvest my organs.
Yeah, why not?
Put them in their jar.
I need those.
I need those.
Let's see. I'm gonna Pepto-Bismol, which saved my ass last night. Well, this morning, technically. Asked, in your opinion, who would win in a fight, Seth or Oron? Ironically, we talked about that once upon a stream. I went with Oron because he's a nasty fuck who would like probably just shoot you. Whereas like so if it was like, okay, an honorable, hands only, no like fucking eye gouging, like a fairly straight up like fist fight tussling type thing, I still think Oron would win. I think Seth would put up a really good fight though. I think it'd be a great fight. I would love to see them like in the pit. But I think Oron has spent most of his life preparing to best another man in any physical contest. Like he has learned how to defend himself in many, many ways because of the nature of his whole shit. Let's see what else we got. Okay, some of these I managed to. Skylar Jade asked, how come not all the characters have a full body picture? I mean, they all should except for fucking Derek and Jesse, which I think we could get. But they're not like polished like the others, so I didn't. Basically, I didn't want to bother Jackie. That's why.
They're pretty simple too. Any character that isn't really a main character. I mean, you do see their bodies in stuff. So you can assume that with Jessie, she's probably wearing either bell bottoms or just regular jeans and like work boots. And Derek is probably wearing some cheap pointed like crocodile what are they called? Loafers?
Loafers.
I don't know, not
Boots?
loafers. They're boots, but they're like pointed. My dad used to wear them all the time. He still does.
Boots have different types of tips.
I guess. I don't know the Portuguese word for them, but
Yeah, because like Derek and Jesse they would never have they never had a sprite, right? They were just
Yeah, I think in the character design
there's a sketch.
Yeah. I mean, y'all would have to beg her, not me, because I don't know if Jackie wants to put a fucking like 4-year-old sketch.
Oh no, that's not the closest you'll get to full bodies is me redoing them. Or you guys finding the other ones.
Yeah. It's not. So that's why. Sorry about it. But all the main boys have theirs on there. And that should be the standard going forward.
Have we ever seen Derek's legs?
Yeah. I remember seeing the full art of him. But that was, a long time ago.
I'm just gonna believe he doesn't have legs. He doesn't deserve them.
Yeah.
Leg privileges revoked.
When did you get a 5th cat? When I made a bad decision in the middle of winter. Although it turned out to not be a bad decision. It really worked out. Anywho, it was January.
He still doesn't have a name.
Yeah, but like I have the idea of a name. Also, like Flea, any bug related name has really super bugular.
How are we gonna tell her that when she grows up? Look at all of your siblings' names and yours. Bug.
Flea.
Well, it's something Hime is what it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't decided what goes before that. Because if Momiji is the Kibby queen, she's the Kibby princess.
Right.
Yeah, I think I mean...
Flea. Blue.
Not Fleame. Did you think BitterSweet would get this far or be this popular? Well, given that it started when I didn't think it was BitterSweet, no. I never really thought it was gonna be like a whole thing, because we had tried narrative-driven things. We tried this whole thing with fucking Guzma and Piers, a ton of like art for it, had like music done for it, and it fucking flopped. So like, I did not think BitterSweet was going to crop up out of all of that. And yeah, I know, I like Nomi. It is Japanese for flea. That was my very first, like, that was my very first thought. But like, it just doesn't.
It didn't immediately click.
Yeah, I don't know.
She'll still get called Flea.
She
This
will.
doesn't need to be her legal name.
Ooh. Z says, any chance of zip up hoodies? And if yes, please consider 2 sides of Alphonse and the zip is the crack in the mirror glass situation.
Ooh.
Whoa. Fucking big brain alert. That is a good idea. I do want to do zip up hoodies. But the way that it kind of limits what you can put on them. Okay, multiple people asking about the time skip between chapter 3 and 4. It's a few months. The same way that in Lost and Found, that it begins a few months after the events of chapter 3. I would say it is, springish time. Not quite summer yet. So it has been a few months since. So the important thing to note is that the goal of all these like multiple narratives that are happening, Shattered should be happening right around the same time as BitterSweet Chapter 4. That's so Lost and Found and Shattered and BitterSweet are now all roughly around the same time. Let's see. Someone asked if the drawing in the dust on the back of Al's car was done by Seth. Yes. What was the most difficult part of working on the BitterSweet director's cut? Were there any points where you were like exasperated? That's a great question. The part that broke me was when I lost the entirety of Seth's lines, which was an hour of recording. The mental anguish that I felt was hard to overcome. Other than that, it was a delight. Jackie, was there anything in particular you struggled with while doing it, other than just like there's a lot of it?
I think like just getting it done, but that's just because there was a lot of it. There wasn't any like I didn't run into any. I'm trying to think, maybe there was. I think just getting the script and finding where we could do certain things with shots and like maybe merge expressions or merge different shots or do something that would work better was the only thing that was like a little extra work. But other than that, it wasn't anything super crazy. Just sort of
right.
Yeah.
And that's always the part where we have to get together and like figure out what the shots are going to look like.
Right.
I do think what we did, because we both like hopped in chat together and like went point for point over it. Yeah. I don't know how we made it this far without had that actually being a thing we did.
Yeah.
So yeah. And it wouldn't have been so bad if it wasn't an entire chapter in one shot, right? Because like if it was on a by episode basis, then it's easy. Like, well, the first episode is like 3 things, and then the second one with Seth. So when Seth gets introduced, that's a little more complicated because he looks a little different way and all that shit. But yeah, having to do it all in one shot is fucking kind of nuts. Flat-faced moon art contest look is going to be next week because I'm dying inside and sick today. So it's extended a week because this has already kind of gone longer than I thought it would. But yeah, there's a lot of submissions to look at. I don't want to like, just because I'm tired, kind of like go quick.
Yeah.
So we're going to do it. It's going to happen.
Stream is already scheduled, so you can set reminders.
Yeah. Does Seth's dad have a canon design yet? So, good question, because I've had people ask about like, oh, does he make an appearance in that bit in the bar? No. And he could have, but adding an entire character design and adding shots that would include him in that bit, deadass would have added like another fucking month and a half to something that was already taking way too long. So like, no. But I do think that's coming. I do think it's coming. Bellaboo asked, what's your biggest birthday wish? I don't think that in the way that wishes work, I don't think I can say. But it probably would incorporate the BitterSweet director's cut in some fashion. Which of your boys is most likely to have an OnlyFans? Alphonse. Easiest answer of the night. How many chapters will BitterSweet have? I don't know. Because things are kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how far they've got to go. With the way things are weaving together, I see roughly what an end game looks like. But I don't know what all happens before we get there, so I don't know.
Guys, the art of Alphonse doing that exists already. It's called Boy Toy Alphonse.
Oh, that's right.
That's fair. He does, like, canonically adjacent has done cam work before. Let's see what else.
Oh, I will say one thing in regards to BitterSweet Director's Cut and your birthday. The best birthday gift you guys can give to Yuri is to make sure that even if you aren't going to watch chapter 2 and 3, you keep the entire video running. Please.
Yeah, that would help. That would help a lot. That would be good.
Give the watch time.
Dominique asked, do you think you will ever make a video about how to make templates for storylines? The way that I do stuff is very, like, by the seat of my pants. Like, I don't plan well enough to tell people how to do that. But there's definitely good resources for that sort of thing that I don't have offhand right now. But yeah. Al does not have the heart tattoo still. Scarlet Torchig with the $10 super chat says, happy birthday, YuuriVoice. Excited for everything down the line. You all have done such an amazing job hyping things up. Hopefully you can have a great day once you feel better. Much love to you and the squad. Thank you. Thank you so much. I thankfully feel so much better than I did yesterday. It was not great. I felt like death. So, yeah. Let's see here. Would it be too much to get some insight on Thomas's listener and what they'll be doing? Sure, I can do that. So I played with the idea of who Thomas's listener could be. And I was torn. There were two options I really liked. I liked a childhood friend. But I feel like fat male characters have been the subject of the childhood friend relationship so much that I didn't want to go that route. So instead, it is a listener who is not entirely familiar with him. And the listener is involved in some stuff that people close to Thomas was involved in. And listener, you know how I mentioned the whole, like, he has to make a choice whether he's going to, you know, get involved and try to help people and essentially try to, you know, take up the mantle of people he looked up to. The listener is involved with that, and they may not necessarily be entirely honest about what their role is in all of that. So things might not necessarily get off on the greatest of terms, but listener's heart is in the right place. It's not. Listener needs something. Listener needs something, and it is ultimately also something that Thomas wants. But he would not help if he knew the truth. So
the trauma.
It's not a bomb ticking under the table for a long time. It actually gets found out in the second episode. So it's not, we don't make a big fuss out of it because I didn't want to draw it out in that regard, because I think more of the mystery comes from other aspects of it. Also, not to spoil a whole lot, but Phineas and his listener have some tension. So I didn't want to reheat my nachos too much. So I'll let Phineas figure that sort of thing out, and Thomas will have a easier time.
Thomas does seem a little more well-rounded.
Ha!
Oh,
All right.
guys.
Bars. Let's see here. Is Deep Dish gonna get a wiki page? Yeah, probably. It won't be a big one, but yeah, he could probably get a wiki page.
I completely forgot. Because I was looking at the list and I completely forgot about Deep Dish.
He's definitely he's a character. He deserves.
Goodbye, Dee Dee.
No, no.
I'll have to apologize to him.
So I can tell you guys what the broader story for Thomas is. If I had to pitch it, a young man founds himself struggling with the weight of his family's legacy as how would I I'm cooking. Young man struggles with the weight of his family's legacy as, how do I say it without spoiling? As an agent of the Watchmen, drags isn't the right word. That's not the verb I want to use. enlists him in their mission to something. Basically, he gets to go on a little mission. And it directly sets up some critical things we need for Echoes of Everlast. So, you know, a little adventure. It's a little, oh, all right, I'll take you here, but then I'm going home. And then a wise old sage is like, hey, why are you such a fucking punk? And I was like, what?
Damn.
Fucking excuse me? Who are you to tell me anything? And then the wise old sage is like, yeah, well, sounds to me like you're just scared. Tom's like, scared? I ain't scared. Also, fuck you, old man.
Damn. The tension between Thomas and this old man.
And the old man's like, oh my god, here we go again. I'm gonna fucking adopt somebody. Because I've taken vows and can't have children, but somehow I have like a dozen. Sorry about the pretzels.
No, eat the pretzels. You need them for your strength.
I guess you're my son now is so real.
I saw someone said that this sounds like the beginning of a D&D thing. I'm just saying, when Everlast comes out, if there isn't anybody who like tries to make these characters in like D&D and stuff, I will actually be disappointed. I want to see people make character sheets. Maybe I'll make character sheets.
Nova asked, please be honest, is my baby Dilf Alphonse getting out of the walls anytime soon? Speaking of artwork that's 2 years old.
Oh god.
Yeah.
When was the last Dilf Alphonse video?
Hot minute ago. There's a full art from the first time he tried to be a thing.
Oh.
Remember the like housewarming basket?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was trying to think of ways that I could repurpose that for book Alphonse. So
A year ago.
God. It feels longer.
Oh. I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
One sec, I got the playlist link for people who...
The
There is Dilf Alphonse.
someone then went on to ask, like, does Thomas get his own outside of Echoes of Everlast Origins? Does Thomas get his own listener, or do we only encounter him through Finn and his listener? I think Echoes will eventually reach the point where it's multiple perspectives. So think about like an episode of Game of Thrones, right? How you're following multiple key characters. Kind of like that. So we have been very like, okay, we don't need listeners intermingling. It's going to be confusing. Which takes me to this next question from Junibuggo. We barely know anything about the MCs or the listeners. Will there ever be more on them, or will their background solely be based on whatever listener wants them to be? That's not entirely true, pal. If you go on the recently launched YuuriVoice wiki, there are listener entries, and the one who is the most like projectable is Boo, I would say. But many of the other listeners have more defined traits, and especially when we get into Everlast, they all have roles and agendas and shit going on. So there's levels to this shit, is basically what I'm trying to get at. There are aspects of characters that I don't want to touch because that's the fun part for you to figure out, and it doesn't impact the world and the plot. But there are other times where I need to be a little more deliberate. Like, look at Casper. Well, Casper is definitely like probably punk adjacent due to the skateboarding background and everything. There were a lot of hints that they had some sort of job that might have included signing an NDA. That was revealed. Blah, 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 blah. So everybody's a little different. But my big thing is I try to not... Things have to be given to you pretty early on, or at least foreshadowed early on, because I don't want to like have you go wild like building this whole character to use for this projection into the audio, and then constantly be like, well, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, because that's not fun. That's not fun to go along with constantly being told that you thought you were showing up with your own toolkit, and then you're like, well, you can't use hammers and you can't use electric tools. You basically have to just do this. Like, I want to be able to give you the tools that you're going to use, and then within the margins, you create someone that plays nicely with the narrative and everything else going on.
A little build a listener kit.
Mm-hmm.
Sandstone said, I know you said it was up to interpretation of the relationship between Seth and Alphonse and Sugar Boo, but will there be separate non-canon videos of them as a couple? There already are. Well, I see what you're saying, like where they're like confirmed, blah, 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 and that's like explicitly the point. Because like there's the Halloween party thing, which there is a follow-up to that that is basically written, and I forgot that I needed to do that, so that's a thing. But yeah, there's always going to be like additional content you can enjoy along the way. But I think what I don't want to do is branch off into like, okay, here's a whole series that's like they're confirmed together, blah, 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 blah. Like, I kind of eye roll anything that desperately needs something to be like confirmed together type shit. People be like, oh, when did Alphonse and Boo become official? That was an ancient question. I'm like, I don't know. We just sort of got here. I didn't think we super duper needed that, but
Before
my
or
bad.
After the pumpkin patch.
Yeah, something like that.
There's also a level of like realism to that too, because it's not always cut and dry when people form relationships.
I think there's something to be said for the like, hey, this is the video where that big moment happens. Like, I get it. But also, like, I don't know. Sometimes, I don't know, it just wasn't on my agenda at the time. So it sort of like all happened.
Also, for people who don't know, Boo and Alphonse, like, all of the pre-BitterSweet Alphonse videos, like, very early on, could be believed to be Boo.
Yeah, pretty much is. Like, I think the playlist for them literally says, like, the prologue.
So there's lots of content of them.
Will there be more Finn hype before Everlast? I'm pre-hyping myself. And how difficult was the character to design? Will there be more character reveals soon? So, the Everlast origin stuff will come out before more Finn. But, in case you didn't hear the news, the next plushie will be Finn.
Woo.
And in conjunction with that, I'm going to do... I don't remember if I talked about this publicly or not, so this might be news to everybody.
I don't believe you have.
Okay, well.
Surprise.
I want to do... I'm sorry. My tummy was telling me I was hungry, so I'm like killing these pretzels.
Go to town.
Okay. So, alongside the plushie, I would like to drop a massive Finn video. And by massive, I mean probably over an hour. So, like, what would probably be multiple episodes and a compilation. I want it to be all in one video already. And yes, base models of all the YuuriVoice boys before doing offshoots or alternative versions of plushies and stuff. So big Finn video. And my goal with that is to finally take Finn and integrate him into the shared universe. So right now, all of Garden Variety's Finn stuff has existed in a bubble with only like a few threads of crossover connectivity or whatever. And that's because I wasn't really sure what I was doing. So like some things were just little Easter eggs for the audience, whatever. So my goal with a big ass Finn video is to essentially give him sort of the way that like chapter 1 Alphonse, we have the implication that, oh, well, Finn before, or Alphonse before this, that was Boo, whatever. It was like the prologue. So kind of doing the same thing with Finn's Garden Variety Finn content, but also revisiting some of the hits. So there might be references, for example, like the hiking audio. That's one that comes to mind, is like, I want to kind of revisit that and canonize some of those pieces in a cohesive thing. So I have an idea. So it should be what is essentially a very big lovey-dovey adventure with Finn that ends up with him and his listener ending up somewhere. So basically, to take the idea of garden variety Finn and plant him into the narrative as a whole thing. Yeah. So that's the plan. I know that's a little vague, but that's all I can really say for now. So I need to get to work on that, because I would like to it's like going through his list of date ideas, sort of. Actually, it is, without giving it all away, they go on an extended trip, basically. So we're gonna hit a lot of the highlights as they go on an adventure together. More character reveals. That's a good question. I don't think so for a little bit. There are characters that need to be cooked up, but we have a few things that need to happen before then. Which then takes me to Admirer AJ's question. Updates on Mark from acquisitions. Yeah, Mark Mark will be coming around
Mark
sometime.
Oh, Mark. Poor guy.
love a man.
Are you going to do more Guzma audios? This question's come up a couple times over the past few days. I'm sure I will revisit Guzma at some point when I get the itch, but like, I have so many things I have to do. It doesn't make a ton of sense for me to be like, I'm dropping everything and doing Guzma. But sometimes, like, Guzma is a great warm-up for me, because I can just tap right back in because I love him so much. So I never say never. It probably won't ever be too long before he makes another appearance, because that's how it goes.
But he will always be second to YV originals.
Yeah. He had his time in the sun. Will there be Seth audios still? I mean, he's the starring character in the upcoming episode of BitterSweet, so yeah, I reckon there probably will be. Anything about Charlie? I think Charlie's chilling for a bit. I have not determined what exactly is next for him. I have not determined exactly what is next for him. Clearly he's got things going on and is relevant to current events, but I don't know. Maybe him and Cass go bang in the garage. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
You know.
the way Oron talked to him really did kind of send him for a loop.
There you have it, folks.
Yeah. 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 So once I get through this wave of stuff going on, as for Lucian, I don't know. Unfortunately, I have like no inspiration for him right now. Like anything that if I was just like, okay, well, let's just do a fun one-off and let it rip. Like, currently, my brain is so full of everything else that I don't have the juice. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure something will come around. It just, unfortunately, I have such a fucking pile of things that are going on that are so, like, fucking intricate. They excite me a lot more, so. Same for Jack at the moment, though you will hear from Jack before too long, I think.
He will escape the walls again.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Well, I don't think. Again, there's new goodies over on Fourth Wall. Treat yourself for my birthday. That would be cool.
Ready yourself for tomorrow.
Do ready yourself for tomorrow.
It is almost upon us.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Thank you everyone for checking out the wiki. More to come on there. Obviously, like none of the Everlast stuff is up there yet, so we'll have a lot to do. But I wanted to rip the band-aid and get it rolling. Yeah. The episode of Shattered. So let's go ahead and pull Homeboy up again. Where are you? Hi, Ulrick.
In the description.
So if the thumbnail doesn't give it away, shit starts popping off. I think the point will be made clear. Shout out to Pretzels.
I wanna tuck that one little strand of hair behind his ear.
Oh.
It's a very fun audio. Also has quite a few it's got me doing a few voices in it.
His Hosier song? Probably. I feel like I'd need YV to. I'd say Arsonist Lullaby. Would that be correct?
There are a few that are very correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the whole, like all of his songs are Oron songs.
I wonder why he's your favorite.
There's a few. I think for him as a person, I think Arsonist Lullaby is a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
And Archismo, I ain't gonna lie, I hate world building. And you will find that in Everlast, I literally gave myself an excuse to not have a billion answers for things. Like, I'm a very character first person. I find a character that's interesting and I determine how I can make the world around them interesting in ways that impact them.
I mean, your way of getting around it is very, very good.
Yeah, it lets me build what I want to build, and the rest I can kick the can. Well, one great way that helps me, if I'm going character first and like vibes first and how these characters interact and impact each other, then it leads me to questions like, well, how? And as you start to find out the how, so like I need Thomas to have a listener in his life that gets him out of his shell. I need them to send him down the path. So how do I do that? Well, they probably need to have a task or something that they need. So what do they need? What do they need to accomplish? How does Thomas help them do that? That's where I started to see like, okay, so let's say that there's this group called the Watchmen. People in Thomas's life had ties to this group that he does not have anymore because those people are gone now. So why is he not taking a role there? Well, because something about the group is different now. Well, why is it different? Well, because the world, things that are bigger than just what's happening at the ground level are happening. So what's happening? Why is it happening? How does that impact the world around them? So I start building from the ground up rather than trying to build. I build a foundation before I build a roof, basically. So as you start to find cool excuses to connect dots. So maybe you have like a big idea for like maybe what the big conflict is, but you don't really know how it works. So with the big conflict, it's like, well, one of the big things for me, and it's the reason why I decided I needed to do the origin stuff. Why should the audience care? Because like, you know what excites you and how you want that to happen. But what do you need to do? And what sort of like, how do you set the table to get everyone else excited? And as you start to connect these dots and you'll find threads to start pulling on. And it might take you somewhere, and maybe it doesn't work. Like maybe it doesn't quite hit right. But you started to workshop without even trying. So that's happened to me a lot. Just as you start to dig into the characters, you realize like, hey, I know that I want Thomas to have the one thing I knew about Thomas at his inception was he needed to be what Finn was not able to be in Echoes of Everlast, which is kind of the heart of the story. So even though Echoes of Everlast is Phineas's story and his journey, Phineas doesn't represent faith in humanity. He doesn't represent like a desire to see your fellow man thrive. Like, I wanted to boil Thomas down into like, what is a good person? Like, if you stripped away everything, what makes a person good? And I think what I determined was one of the like telltale signs of a good person is their willingness to see other people thrive with no benefit to yourself. You just want to see other people lifted up and protected and taken care of. Which is why I think it's really cool that Thomas is a blacksmith and like a barkeep at a tavern. Like, he has two jobs centered on service, where he's building tools for people to use to create or protect or do things with. And then at a tavern, he's creating like camaraderie. He's creating a place where stories are shared, a place where people can eat and gather and stuff. So I loved that Thomas started to represent like support for fellow man. And that's how he started to get fleshed out. So it led me to like, so how do I put a character that's supposed to represent like a good heart? It's almost very Kingdom Hearts. Like, how do I find a character that represents like what we should aspire towards as a person? And it's not like he's some paragon of virtue or like anything like that. He just inherently believes that other folks deserve a chance. And he's watched people close to him try to ensure that happen. And the source of his conflict is that, hey, all these, we created this group that was meant to look out for the little guy, that was meant to help people. He goes on to talk about how like, hey, the Watchmen, we used to help people build houses. We used to protect them from raiders. We used to, we were like in the community looking after each other. And then something changed. And now they're not here. I'm not a part of that. That has nothing to do with me. And I'm doing this job for you as, one, you're paying me. Two, maybe I was a little curious. Like, maybe I wanted to know what was going on still. So you start to create reasons. And when you start creating reasons and backdrops for things to happen, you have to answer questions about the world. So it's like, okay, so the Watchmen were these, good vigilantes, I guess you could say. They were like the community watch. It reminded me very much of like the D&D, what are they called? I don't know. You can get like fucking pre-made origins and you can choose folk hero. They were sort of fucking folk heroes. But then they sort of went on and did their own thing. In particular, when like leadership changed. So why did leadership change? And what did they start doing instead? And that gives you a tie back to the Capitol. And it's like, oh, so they were involved in this. And now they're dealing with this. So what the fuck is that all about? And that's how I ended up getting several answers that helped me figure out the direction, not only for Thomas's origin, but like it helped me answer key things I needed in Echoes of Everlast. Like, okay, so we know like who the big bad is, but like there's levels to this. Like who works for him? Why do they work for him? Why do people who used to work for him not work for him anymore? What happened to these people? Does anyone like feel that way? Whatever the fuck. So, you know, just create questions for yourself. And if you're having fun answering them, you're heading in the right direction. Yeah. I think Thomas represents a faith in humanity. That's what I discovered about him, is that he believes people inherently want to see the others around them succeed. And it will be fun to watch that worldview get challenged more and more. Because ultimately Thomas finds himself in league with a group of characters who all have their own motivations for dealing with the conflict. So yeah. And doubling back to the point about Finn, I think Finn, and I'm tipping my hand a little bit, but we're talking about the topic and it's very relevant. So Finn would love to be like Thomas. And I think garden variety Finn is that Finn. He's the good, peaceful, humble, like he represents a lot of that, right? So garden variety Finn is like those parts of Finn condensed into a sliver. Like, wow, these are my core tenets and values, but only this one core tenet and value, because a person cannot just be one thing. You cannot, like Thomas will eventually find out, you cannot just be I'm the guy who has faith in my fellow man. Because what happens when your faith in fellow man is betrayed and let down and everything else? Like, what else do you believe that keeps that faith from evaporating, right? So garden variety Finn is like a representative of that core tenet. Whereas other parts of Finn that we might recognize are other feelings and tenets and like core values that manifest in other ways. Whereas Phineas, the character in Everlast, he is all of those. He is all of those, and he has to deal with a lot. He has to deal with a lot. So Phineas is a very complicated character, and I don't think he represents necessarily all of the good things that Thomas might. Yeah, I like that. So Phineas is a little complicated in the sense that, so what happens when I love, and this is a very, if you've watched the series Andor, which is a Star Wars series, but I think you could watch it in a bubble, know nothing about Star Wars, and you would still enjoy Andor. There's a monologue from a leader of a rebellion who essentially goes into talking about how he's damned because he has to use the tools of his oppressor to defeat them, and it will destroy him. To overcome great evil, you have to get your hands dirty. And he has sacrificed everything. Now, I don't think Finn would necessarily say all of that. I do think he is representative of a good person. A good person trying to make the best out of things. I think that's Finn. And the truth is, I do not believe you can elicit great and terrifying change in the world and come out being someone who people necessarily believe are good. Like, I think to tip the scales, you have to do something. You cannot be idle. And a lot of the times you find yourself having to speak the language of your oppressors, because it is what they recognize, and it is the only way to cut them off. So I think you find that Finn is much more, he's in the midst of coming to terms with who he's had to become. So when he runs into all of these people who have differing opinions on how to proceed, all while keeping secrets of his own, he has to learn how to convince and communicate without just saying, hey, I know this information that's gonna fuck everything up. So what do you guys think about it? Like, you can't just say that. You have to be more careful. Sharky Mary, you might have missed a few things, but anywho, okay, I have overshared. I have overshared my plot. But I am very excited. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, Sandstone asked about making a map of the city just for funsies. There might, in time, be a map of... There might be a map of... Willowbrook, which is the city in Everlast where Finn's Tower is and where Thomas's blacksmith and tavern are, blah, blah, blah. I've thought about it. Getting one made was a fucking hassle. So I might just find someone who's into making maps and let them help. That's probably the better way to do it. Let's see what else. Yeah. Gray Shark Boy asked, what's Alphonse and Seth's least favorite holiday? Probably Christmas. Now.
At this point.
Probably Christmas. That's my assumption. Also, Hex, if you didn't see, since you're excited about Withered Finn, if you didn't see this, thank you for the birthday wishes, by the way. Pretzel.
Pretzel.
So stay tuned. I want to see this one more time.
Oh.
God. What do you think he smells like?
Man.
Crazy. Right
It
now,
probably...
like in that image?
I guarantee you, when he first moved in, it smelled like fucking jerk off.
Whoa.
Stop.
It smelled, because like when you think about it, when's the... Like... I don't... Everything I want to say at this point is way too much, but like... If you leave a fella who has not had personal time to his own devices, there's a good chance that like if you go in there a little while later,
Ew.
like it smells like meat.
And it's such a distinct smell too. Like you know he'll lie.
No, that's not cock and balls you're sniffing. Jesus. I hate that it's given me specifically memories from times in my life where like times were hard. Yeah, it's in a garage too, so it's like dusty. Like he probably didn't even like clean up proper before moving in. He like just took the cot out. And like there's like 3 crusty socks under the cot now.
Oh God. Ew.
It's cleaned up now, but like a little bit after New Year's. He had to figure it out.
Can you
I'm
blame
so
him?
upset by this conversation.
What's wrong, King? Don't you need a hand? Me like peeking through the garage window. Hey, buddy. Sorry, chat. I was like waxing poetic about Finn and Thomas, and then I was like, you ever think that Seth just like finally when he had a space of his own, he was just like pounding it.
Whoa.
Boo and Alphonse like, hey, so like, have you seen Seth? Like, oh no, I mean, yeah, you think he's not coming around because he's being awkward? And then like the next time they see him, his like right arm is just fucking massive.
Stop. Oh, God.
Not him pillow humping the punching bag.
Hey.
Y'all, you know, I like was hoping I'd go an entire stream without having to do this.
My bad, y'all.
Yeah.
My bad, y'all.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Okay, but also think about Seth like working at the bar, and he's got like.
He's gonna make it worse right now.
Mm-hmm.
God, you think he's maybe in like a flannel button up, sleeves rolled up, got it like a wash rag kind of tucked in his belt loop? Big old fucking Coke can.
Have we put Seth and Daisy Dukes yet?
Not canon, but I'm certain there's fan art out there somewhere.
Jackie, did we ever draw Alphonse in that summertime outfit and then never use it? Do you remember this from...
God, was that Alphonse or was that Finn?
Oh my God, wait, there's a Finn out there somewhere.
There's a Finn in a summer outfit.
Wait.
There might also be an Alphonse now.
There is a summertime Finn. This is not what I was remembering. I'm remembering from like the second or third thing you ever drew for me.
I don't remember that Alphonse. Oh my God.
I don't remember if we did it or not, but it was going to be like a summertime popsicle.
I don't remember what it looked like, but I sure do remember us doing it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
How has it already been like close to 6 years?
That's crazy.
This summer,
That's
I think.
wild.
This like August, September.
I had the realization because I did a similar thing and I was like, in like 2 years, it'll be 10 years since I've known
Wild.
Damn.
Yuri. And I was like, what the fuck?
Hell yeah.
We have some
Time's
big
strange.
vlog-anniversaries coming up.
For real.
You sure do. Oh my God, get these men off my screen.
You say that the men are a problem.
They are. All right. I gotta go home. I've been sick. I feel okay, but... Whew. Wait, Bent Nibs, you did send something. Hold on, I can go find it. No, I was yapping too hard. How do I see...
If
Oh my-
you go on the top chat, live chat, there is a fan funding tab. And you can scroll back on it.
You're so good at this, Thea.
That's why you keep me around.
Bent Nibs said, I hope you have the happiest of birthdays and that today brings you as much joy as you and your team deliver to us daily with the $5 super chat. Thank you. Thank you for saying something, because I saw it and then I was like I was on a roll.
Art contest has been pushed to next week.
It has, because I've not been feeling well. So, still open. We will review submissions next week, and we will pull winners then. Whew. Is that it? I really don't have anything else.
Whatever
thought-
everything that you said you would talk about.
Do y'all want to see? Hold on. Do y'all want to see? Let me see if I can do this. You guys want a sneak peek at the mock-up for the Finn plushie?
Oh. Always.
Oh, I guess I could have just done this. Hold on. Hi, Oron.
Oh, he's so cute.
Now, whether this is what we actually managed to get out of makeship or not remains to be seen, but you little baby.
Let's hope, because we literally drew over the other ones.
Yeah. I'm curious how they'll do glasses. They've recently had some glasses plushies, and they look pretty decent, so I'm curious to see how that goes.
They'll probably use like a harder felt and stitch it in the middle of the face.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna pinch his little butt.
My God.
Yep. What's she gonna do about it? I'm like, ooh, you come around here often, Fireboy?
Wheel.
Woo.
I'm gonna put him with all of my Koroks.
Oh.
Aww.
That's where he will belong.
Those are his friends. Those are oomphs.
I definitely think Oron likes having his hair played with.
Good.
Ooh, I don't know where you were going with that.
Whoa.
Whoa. Crazy.
Wow, Rook, I didn't know you were such a ball juggler.
Hey now.
Aw.
The jugglers!
The jugglers. They have nighttime gear.
They sure do. Chat, there's jugglers in my neighborhood, and they'll jog at night while juggling, and they have light up. They have light up balls.
Alice and I saw them when we were driving back to the house, and we screamed.
I feel like I've seen them, but not in the vicinity of your home. So, like, how far do they go?
I feel like they go like pretty far.
Maybe.
I remember around Christmas time, I saw a Santa running while juggling.
What the fuck? I saw a Santa on a three-wheeler trike once. I think I tried to take a picture of him, but we passed by him too quick. And then who was it that saw the motorcyclist with an Elmo helmet?
That might have been Thu.
That might have been Thu. Yeah. Random shit.
I just know they gotta be crazy in the
neighborhood.
bedroom, because, like, if you're... They definitely have, like, a fucking...
And they were like in time too when we saw them last.
Seth has trunks on,
Freak.
but I mean,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be impossible to
He's emotional and sad.
do a little
and his
edit.
dick's
Oh,
just
I can,
out.
I can imagine it. I'm sorry this is happening, chat. I just need to, it's for research. That's not what I wanted you to do. That's not what I wanted you to do.
Are you drawing it? We know?
No, I'm just kind of zooming in on his junk.
Oh. I was saying earlier on the Discord, I was talking about his inner thighs, so I can't say anything.
My
I don't know what I
God.
was. I was possessed by the muscle demon,
You
the
were.
anatomy muscle demon, and I was like, ooh.
You know I know those things are heavy. I got you, bro.
Like,
What happened to
Okay,
Al?
I'll
Al
be
has
your
trauma. That's
Oh.
we'll deal with him later. Right now I've got meat to handle.
It has also traumatized me, but you know.
I ain't gonna front. Sometimes that's the best.
Something about making it more tender or something.
Guys.
Yeah, life just keeps beating you up. That's okay.
I feel like I have to put you both on like kitty leashes.
Yeah. Faust
Stop.
too. Tenderized, traumatized, digmatized.
No.
Jackie,
Da-
I can't always be the responsible
That's
one.
who Auron's got you digmatized for real though.
Hey. Guys, multiple nights, like I'll fall asleep to the playlist.
As you should.
So you know what? If you need any Auron knowledge, I'm your girl.
I was like running things by her when I was writing the wiki stuff. I was like, do you remember, do you recall?
Sure did.
Faust will be, we have a Faust makeup stream for his birthday. Faust is pissed, by the way.
There's like
Faust.
bite marks on the walls. Sometimes he sticks his fingers through them.
Jack was like beaten to a pulp one time. I was like, what happened? And Faust was just like, I don't know, he fell. Fucking Jack's like, he's like, yep, he sure fell. Yep. All the way down the stairs. And I'm like, what stairs? Faust was like,
One of them.
It'll happen.
Yeah. Because Faust's birthday passed.
It did.
Stuff was happening.
Yeah, we were busy. Fuck. Noticed Faust didn't show up to my birthday either, so.
You know.
Yeah.
If I just had the, let me take fucking Seth's dick and balls off the.
I was wondering when you'd remember that.
Oh my
you did that.
god, it's just there. Like if I like, in my mind's eye, I can see it.
Stop.
I can see it, just saggy meat.
God.
Tired. Because like he's probably not wearing like compression shorts or anything under there. So like as you're boxing, like boxing involves a lot of like twisting and shuffling around. So it's just fucking like angry meat. Meat's like, why the fuck did you not put some fucking boxer briefs on? No pun. And Seth's like, ha, boxer.
I hate it. I hate that so much.
Yeah, you just hear like every time he like kind of sidesteps, you just hear like a slapping sound.
Stop.
Oh.
Can we like turn off the chat being able to hear him again?
Sorry about it, yo.
Man, if we had a global mute button, that'd be wild.
It's tough. The personification of Seth's meat. You guys ever see like a fucking... You ever see like an ecchi manga where the like male protag's dick gets like a personification? So it'll be like vaguely phallic shaped, but it looks like a little guy. That's peak, actually.
Have I ever shown you Star Kid has a musical called My Dick and Me, which is the main character is like it's people and like it's the main character, his dick is a character. And that's the whole musical and it's hysterical.
That's amazing.
And
So,
they
like-
show you who's belong to who's, but with like they have little like leashes on them.
I
Oh
love
my
what we've done with free will.
Thank you, Umineko. I just joined the stream and oh my god, I don't know what you're talking about, but I love it. Yeah. Give him 5. Yo, Seth can take all. Seth's taking more than 5 big booms. He's taking.
I don't. You should stop talking.
Alphonse.
You get food poisoning again.
Wow. Alphonse hitting it and he's doing the boom.
No.
That's so upsetting. I can hear it in my mind's eye.
Hey, I'm gonna start calling that dick of yours the Rizzler because it's my favorite chubby little guy.
Stop.
Duh. I feel like Seth would hit him.
He should.
Oh, Christ.
That
The little
deserved a wallop.
Personification of Seth's Bingus has like a little cowboy hat.
Oh.
Howdy, partner. That
No.
would, if we did like a 4-panel comic of like Seth having a sleepover with them and him waking up in the morning and there's a howdy partner situation.
Oh.
Anyway,
In a
My-
hat.
yeah, why not? Howdy, partner.
Stop.
It's like Boo like dramatically like pulls the cover off of him.
I hate it.
Lord. How much money would it take for us to get a sweaty Oron pick, Jackie?
Hey, Jackie.
Like none. Free. Yeah. It came with your existence as a YuuriVoice stand.
Thank you, Melody Nova. Thank you, Saturday. Yeah, I was supposed to get off like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I was supposed to get off 10 minutes ago. Jesus.
Oh, brother.
Oh.
Oh, brother, this fucking guy.
I love when he gets possessed by Alpha.
I just...
I mean, at least Alphonse showed up for your birthday.
You
You
think-
were there for his.
Seth's, like, crack got, like, little chinchilla hairs. Like, it's
God.
velvety. It's like, it's like not aggressively hairy. It's like, oh, man, let me tell you.
This is how you summon Alphonse. is
It's
talk about-
inviting. It's like rolling out the brown carpet.
Whoa!
What?
Put him back in the walls.
My bad.
How is
Any-
he HR?
I am HR.
Yeah, how? How'd you get that job?
Listen,
Underqualified.
humans are my resources.
Oh,
Yep. What does that even mean? It's like I'm harvesting you. Oh. You know what? Hold on. Can't we just... Oh no, you don't have a hotkey for me? What the fuck? I can't... Can I not... What does this button do? I'm scared. What if that transforms me into something? I don't want to hit that button. Well, all right. Well, that's fucked up. Yuri has little hotkeys that let me toggle on other VTubers. I'm not there.
Oh.
Yeah, what kind of shit is that? I see how it is. He even got fucking Bones on there. He's got the Boner Boy on there. He ain't got me on there. I'm the one who gets used the most.
That's for real.
Whoa. Whoa. Listen. Just because I'm into free. Never mind. All right. That's the end. All right. That's the end of the stream. I'm calling it. The moment Alphonse starts talking about free use, we got to pull the plug. Yeah, you can pull my plug. All right.
Oh, brother.
Oh my god.
Put him back in the jar.
Hey, what was that tweet about